Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, female student is stabbed to death in Manchester. A female student was stabbed to death at the Catholic College of Mandeville in Williamsfield, Manchester on Monday. The deceased has been identified as 20-year-old Akeelia White. The incident, which reportedly happened about midday, also resulted in a male student being stabbed. Preliminary reports are that the 3 students were involved in a confrontation when a schoolboy inflicted stab wounds to a male student and the female student. Both the injured students were taken to hospital, where the female student was pronounced dead and the other student hospitalized. The school has since ended classes for the day. Man killed during alleged dispute with sisters in Westmoreland. A man was killed during an alleged dispute involving relatives, including his sisters. The incident occurred in Hertford, Westmoreland on Sunday night. He has been identified as the 38-year-old Alwyn Beckford, otherwise called Sheng, a laborer from the community. According to Detective Superintendent of Police Dean Watson, who confirmed the incident with the news, Beckford was hit with a stone during a confrontation. Reports from the police indicate that Beckford was at home with his fiancée when an argument developed between him and one of his sisters. During the argument, it is alleged that the 3 family members, including his sisters, began hurling stones at Beckford, one of which reportedly hit him on the left side of his head, causing a wound that bled profusely. Beckford later collapsed and was rushed to the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. 2 schoolboys among 4 shot in drive-by on Wilder Street. 4 persons, including 2 schoolboys, were shot during a drive-by along Wilder Street in East Kingston on Monday afternoon. According to information reaching the news, at least 2 of the victims have since succumbed to their injuries. The deceased have not yet been identified. Reports indicate that a white Mark X drove up along Wilder Street. One of the occupants stepped out of the car and opened a fire on a group of people standing on the road. More details to come. Policeman shot and injured in shootout with a bike-riding gunman. A policeman was injured during a shootout with armed men on a motorcycle Monday morning in Kingston. The Corporate Communications Unit confirmed that the shootout happened at the corner of Waltham and Bay Farm Road after 5 a.m. According to the CCU, the police signaled 2 men riding on a motorcycle to stop. One of the men opened fire on the police, who returned the fire, hitting one of the men, who was later arrested and hospitalized. A policeman was also injured during the shootout. He was treated at hospital and released. Children advocate Blain passes away. Prominent children's rights advocate Blain has died. Blain, founder of lobby group Hear the Children's Cry and Youth Opportunities Unlimited, was reportedly ailing for some time. In paying tribute, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said her passion and commitment have touched countless lives. Her legacy will continue to inspire us to create a better Jamaica for all. May her soul find eternal peace, said Holness in a post on X, formerly Twitter. He expressed condolences to her family, friends, and colleagues. Nurse shortage hits St. Thomas. A critical shortage of registered nurses at the Princess Margaret Hospital in St. Thomas is impacting some services that are provided to patients there, according to Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Diane Jackson. She said presently the parish is experiencing a shortage of nurses across primary and secondary care, affecting services like curative dressings and community outreach initiatives like the Health and Wellness Ministry's Know Your Numbers campaign. The overall disclosures were made by Jackson as she addressed the monthly meeting of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation on Thursday. She said there is need for urgent assistance at the hospital in relation to the nursing shortage. We have reached out to the health region and other parishes for assistance, and we're waiting on a response, Jackson told the councillors. Additionally, the Princess Margaret Hospital faces a shortage of ambulances for patient transportation. That issue was highlighted by former Morante Bay Mayor and the current People's National Party Councillor for the White Horses Division, Hubert Williams. He pointed to the recent challenges that were faced by late Morante Bay Deputy Mayor and the PNP Councillor for the Morante Bay Division, Rohan Blain, who needed urgent transportation to a Kingston-based health facility. Blain had to be taken by a private vehicle due to the reported unavailability of both ambulances at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The councillor, who reportedly had a heart condition, died on May 1. In response, Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Dalvey Division, Michael McLeod, who is also chairman of the Princess Margaret Hospital Board, said that the issue is being looked at by health officials. In fact, McLeod stated that Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, has promised to add an additional ambulance to the hospital's fleet. Man dies in crash on Winston Jones Highway in Manchester. A warning has been issued to motorists to avoid driving while fatigued following the death of a man along the Winston Jones Highway in Manchester on Monday morning. Carl Gale, a 47-year-old window tinter and the vehicle graphic designer of New Green in the parish, died after his car collided with a truck. It is reported that about 3 a.m., Mr. Gale was driving a Nissan AD wagon when, on reaching the vicinity of the Russell Place Meadows, the vehicle crashed into the back of a tractor-trailer that was laden with cement. Mr. Gale was taken to hospital by the police, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. A passenger from the car was treated. Her condition is not known. Mr. Gale's brother Conrad believes he may have fallen asleep while on his way home from a party in Banana Ground, Belfield.
To all road users, if you're tired, don't go around your steering and drive. It's a serious, because my brother now has now become a part of the road statistic. And that's really heartbreaking to know that he's just among the number. He's also a young driver, not really like he's driving for a very long time, maybe about a year or so since he started to drive, you know. And you can't drink and drive. I am not here to accuse him that he was drinking, but from what I saw, you know, inside the car is a representation that, you know, you go a party, yeah, drink. People are so insensitive, you know, these days, because there is the accident and people is just passing, just taking photos, you know, and nobody would want to even assist. It had to be the police who had to come here, you know. Maybe if somebody did actually try and assist in some way, then couldn't take him to the hospital.
Keith Clark murder trial delayed yet again. There was another delay in the trial of the 3 Jamaica Defence Force soldiers accused of the murder of St. Andrew businessman Keith Clark. The court was scheduled to begin hearing testimony on Monday morning, but shortly after 11 o'clock, King's Counsel Peter Champagny informed the judge that King's Counsel Valerie Robertson, another senior attorney in the matter, fell ill and was unable to attend. Mr. Champagny requested an adjournment until Tuesday. Chief of Defense Staff, newly minted Vice Admiral Antoinette Wims Gorman, was among the observers in the cramped courtroom Monday morning. The trial has been marred by several delays over the last 10 years. In the meantime, the prosecution opened its case with allegations that Corporal Adele Buckley, Lance Corporal Greg Tinglin, and Private Arnold Henry murdered Mr. Clark on May 27, 2010. Mr. Clark was fatally shot inside his home on Kirkland Close in St. Andrew during a police military operation to apprehend then fugitive drug lord Christopher Dudus Coke. The soldiers were charged with murder in 2012.